The inspiration for Knook and Cranny began over 3 years ago while traveling across the country with my family. We decided to sell our house, furniture, and vehicles and purchased a motorhome, which became our home on wheels as we explored this great North American continent. During our travels, we made much effort to visit and experience as many states and provinces as we could, 23 states and 6 provinces to be exact. All the while, I began collecting timeless heirlooms and vintage clothing along the way. We settled in British Columbia after a year of traveling, where I began building my online shop, Knook and Cranny, on Instagram. As well, with the amount of vintage treasures I had collected, I began also participating in local markets and pop-up shops. Over the course of 3 years, I had accumulated over 1,000 vintage pieces and experienced a successful online vintage shop, which currently has over 5,000 followers and around 800 sales of one-of-a-kind pieces to more than 11 countries around the world. As well, my shop was featured in a local BC women's magazine called Epitome. My collection includes women's vintage clothing and accessories that span this past century. I also add my own creative touch to many pieces I find by designing outfits, upcycling wounded items, mending and cleaning everything that comes into my shop. While embracing the world of reselling and thrifting, I became educated on what my clothing footprint was and what the high cost of fast fashion really is. I was made aware of the impact that the apparel industry has on our environment, becoming the second largest contributor of pollution to the world. Did you know it takes 700 gallons of water to make one cotton t-shirt? Not only was this a vision of curating women's timeless fashion in a boutique setting to be enjoyed and appreciated for years to come, but also offering an ethically sustainable option for others to purchase well-made clothing already in circulation. After the years of traveling, our hearts would eventually bring us back home to Peterborough this past summer, where my dream of opening up a brick-and-mortar shop in my hometown weighed heavily on my mind and heart. In a changing world where a lot of small shops switch from storefront to online to cut overhead costs, I craved a place where I could connect with my customers face-to-face and offer a unique experience of stepping back in time through my vintage collection, some that date back to the late 1800s. I also dream of having a space for other local creators and crafters of jewelry, candles, bags, and so on to showcase and display their talents in my shop. Peterborough is such a unique, artistic, and culturally diverse community that I feel would be the perfect demographic for my shop to thrive, as well as a place for me to give back to my community through sourcing locally and donating some of my amazing new and vintage finds to local organizations close to my heart.